Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, February 6, 2023. My name is Lisa McCrary, and I am the Senior Learning Development Trainer here at AHCP. So happy that you guys have joined me today. Let's go right ahead and jump into today's meeting. And as always, we're going to start with our quote for the week. This week quote comes from Denzel Washington, one of my favorite actors out there. And what Denzel said is, you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. That's all a part of it. I really like this quote. It's simple, it's to the point, and it's so very true. So many times we are wanting the success, we want the fame, we want the fortune, and because we are an instantaneous society, we want things instantly. We think that it has to come instantly, but we have to remember that with anything that you do, hard work is necessary. So that is that mud. So when it comes to what we do as agents, making those 200 calls a day, trying to collect 10 prospect sheets per day, going door to door and trying to network with different folks. These are all the things that we have to do in order to find the other side of success in what we do. In order to do that, we have to trample in the mud a little bit. But once we get through the mud, there is clean waters on the other side. So I want this to be a word of encouragement for all of you, to let you know that even though the rain is fertilizing our garden, sometimes we have to trample through the mud in order to see that other side of success. I want to welcome you guys again to Motivation Monday. I am so very happy that you guys are here with us today. And as always, we're going to start by reviewing our tips for the week, and then we're going to go into our sales and shout outs for the week. And last but not least, we're going to talk about some untapped marketing strategies. I'm hoping you guys are going to find this interesting. I had a lot of fun pulling the material together. So when it comes to our tip for the week, I just want to remind everyone that if you missed any of our Motivational Monday trainings, or say if you missed our training sessions, and you guys know the first Thursday of every month we have product training, but say if you have something going on, you can always go to the training library on AHCPsales.com, and you can view those trainings that you missed. Or say if you want to look at something again, maybe you didn't catch everything that you wanted to catch. You can go to, like I said, ahcpsales.com. You're just going to go to that top menu at the top of the screen, look for training, and then from there, you're going to look at pre-recorded training library, and there you go. There are so many different trainings out there that you can take a look at, and I think that you guys will find helpful. All right, this is one of my favorite parts of the day to do. This is where we look at what was selling for the week and who was doing the most sales for the week. The week we are looking at is January 30th, which was last week. And when we look at short-term medical sales, United Healthcare really led the way in sales. Limited med sales, Allstate Health Solutions. Accident sales, Allstate Health Solutions again. Critical illness, United Healthcare, and then dental. Dental has always seems to be holding on with Allstate Health. They just have a plan that everybody likes, including your clients and you guys, apparently, because you're selling a lot of it. So Good job to all of you who are helping your clients by cross-selling multiple products to your clients, and not just selling that one product. You're actually selling comprehensive plans to your products, to your clients. So next, let's just take a quick look at who's doing the most sales out there. So when it comes to short-term medical, we have Jacob Gordon leading the way, then Aaron Carter, and then Blake Bowman. Limited med sales, we have William Green and Andrew Orlikoff. And in accident sales, we have Cody Randanzo and Stephanie. So congratulations to all of you guys for all of the wonderful things you are doing for your clients to help them with their healthcare sales. But I also want to thank all of you who are on the call and all of you who are listening, because just because you didn't make this leadership board, I know that you guys are doing fabulous things out there to help your clients and to make sure they are in the best products that are fitting their needs. So now we're going to go into one topic I really enjoy talking about, which is marketing. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to talk about untapped marketing strategies. I always talk about the typical ones, and I'll review those in today's training as well, just in case we have some people who aren't familiar with the typical things that most of us are already doing. But I really find that this is one of those topics that is very relevant in today, and something that is also very necessary for us to do. Now, one thing that I do want to remind everybody, and something that I would like for you guys to consider, is that when it comes to marketing and developing that marketing campaign, it's not really a instant gratification type of deal. So what I mean by that, you don't necessarily go to a networking event, for example, and come back with 10 referrals and you're going to close half of those referrals. That is really an unrealistic expectation, and it's really leading you up to that, mental failure. Most people think that you're going to have those instant gratifications. And I hear that a lot, not just from the insurance industry, but from other industries, because they put the work into it. They put out a couple of videos or infographics, and they think that's supposed to generate something. But we're going to talk about some tactics that are needed and for it to really, truly work. So just remember, when it comes to marketing, really marketing is like a drip campaign. You have to constantly be pushing content out there, and you have to nurture your marketing campaign in order to really see. So really what you're doing in essence is you're planting the seed, you're watching it grow, you're nurturing it. And then once it becomes that tree, it does bear a whole lot of fruit. So I want to remind everyone, as we talk about these things that I'm going to be discussing with you, that you do have to nurture these, and I want you to be aware of that so that you are not mentally going into this thinking something that it is not. But there are wonderful benefits at the end. This is when you have a good marketing campaign, this is what you call working smarter versus harder. So that's what we're going to talk about today, working smarter, not harder. So let's take a look at some of the things that we probably are already doing, or at least half the things on this list that we are already doing to untap marketing ideas and marketing strategies to get in front of as many people as we possibly can. So the first thing we have here is phone campaigns. Now, if you're in sales, everybody knows that phone campaigns is a must. You have to be on those phones in order to generate sales. But that's not the only thing you should be doing, because if you're relying on the phones just for your sales, you're really cutting yourself short. The next thing we have walk and talks. This is one of the favorite things that I like to do. Now, I must admit, I don't like to do it in the wintertime. I live in Ohio, and in the winter, it's pretty darn cold. So I don't necessarily like to do the walk and talks then, but in the summertime, it's a great time to get out of the office, get to meet people in your community. Get your face out there as a resource for everyone. And this is where you are introducing yourself. You're collecting information sheets about different businesses out there that you possibly can help. And then you're starting a campaign on contacting those individuals. Once again, sometimes I have had success where I've met somebody and the next week I'm actually writing them a policy. And sometimes it takes me 3 months to get that policy written. There also, when you do your walk and talks, because you're meeting businesses, sometimes you have group opportunities that are out there as well. So just a lot of different opportunities for you. And don't forget, when you're doing your walk and talks and you're meeting with the business owners, even if you don't do something in group and you're not selling group, don't forget the workers. So if you're signing up the age of the business owners, ask the business owners, what can I do to help your workers? And ask to sit in their cafeteria and offer your services to answer any questions, always coming from that giving place, not that salesy place of what I can do for you. And then eventually that will lead to the sales. And then obviously email campaigns. There are a ton of different campaigns that you can, depending on your goal, that you can do. I call this the pizza box advertising, because back in the day, I'm showing my age, that's what I used to do. I used to take flyers to Domino's and all the other pizza places and say, hey, do you mind putting this on your pizza box? And if you need help, I'm more than willing to help. But I would put flyers on pizza boxes, and hopefully people will see, just to get my name out there as much as you can. But there are so many places that you can post flyers that can get some kind of exposure to your community, or even outside of your community if you're willing to venture out that far. The pull tabs, of course, those are always very handy. Those are really nice when you're going into the urgent cares. Sometimes the urgent cares have community boards, and on those community boards you can post either your business cards. I like the pull tabs because then they don't have to write down your business information. They can just pull the information, but you do have to go back to make sure that once it's empty that you're putting some more information on there, or at least put your contact information on the top portion of that pull tab so that they'll always have a way to get in contact with you. Direct mail marketing or postcard marketing. Now, this is something we used to do back in the day. I must admit, this is a very expensive way to do marketing because you have to pay for postage. And the other thing is that a lot of people these days don't necessarily look at their marketing mail. You might have some of the folks in the older generation looking at their marketing mail, but most of the times people aren't looking at this mail. So the fruit that you generate from direct marketing can be here or there, but not necessarily not as prevalent as it used to be when I was younger, years ago. Years ago, it worked quite well because people was looking at that. Nowadays, not so much. So I would use caution when using that. If you have a targeted group that you know about, maybe they're business owners that you want to target, that might be a good thing. When you're doing direct mail, sometimes if you have something in that direct mail, like a keychain or a bottle opener or something that they can feel and they're wondering what the heck is in here, that can grab their attention so that maybe they will open it and look at it. but usually just the postcard, it just unfortunately nowadays does not work. Something that I found a little bit of value in doing is the network events, the meet and greets and things like that. What I found most advantageous of that is meeting people that I can mutually work with. So we're going to talk about centers of influences. We don't know who our centers of influences are until we get out there and start meeting people. Networking events and meeting people at meet and greets, like at the Chamber of Commerce meet and greets. Those are great places to go to so that you can at least meet people that you can say, okay, how can I give back to them in order for them to want to give referrals to me? And then you got to think of that plan and then present it to them. Most business owners are very receptive to this because, or, in that industry, because they are looking for clients too, and anything that can help them. And if you guys can wash each other's hands, it's always a win-win situation. Something I absolutely love doing and was always fruitful for me is seminars and church events. When I would provide like a seminar and then follow it up with a booth where I made myself available, I would always get so many leads. Now, my content from my seminar had to be relevant. And when you're presenting it, you have to present it as a knowledge and informed expert or advisor. But I always got quite a few leads from those types of events. Now, all of them may not have been qualified leads, but I was able to get them in contact with other, like some people might qualify for Medicaid and they're best suited for that. So I would refer them to that. At the time, I was not selling Medicare, so I would have to set up a referral for Medicare, but I was always able to help those individuals. So I always loved doing the church events, seminars, and there's just so many other communities that you can do as well. You just have to do your research and see where those events are happening. And sometimes the Chamber of Commerce can help you with that. Next is our centers of influence. Make sure you're forming relationships with your real estate agents, your financial advisors, your P&C agents. They are always looking for people to partner with. So make sure you're finding out who those people are. Take your business card and go to them once again with an idea of how I can help you. With my clients are looking for these things, and I just want a person that I can possibly refer them to. Do you, Mr. Client, Mr. CPA, or whatever, do you find yourself having clients that are looking for quality healthcare insurance? 9 times out of 10, they do. I would love to be that resource for you, and I will give you feedback on how things work, because they want to know if what you're doing is helping their clients. That's very important to them. So giving that feedback to them is always very important when you're working with someone else's clients. So those are a few of the things that we do now. Most of us are doing probably half of these things now, but I really wanted to get into some of the untapped stuff out there that some things maybe that we are not thinking about. So let's go ahead and keep on going. And the first tip I'm going to give to you is it's really important to make sure that you are posting on all social media platforms. Now, whether you like social media or not, really honestly is really irrelevant, because social media is becoming one of the more popular, it has become one of the more popular ways to get your name out there and to expand your brand across state lines. One thing the internet has done for us, it has made the world so much smaller. So now you can touch so many people in a very short period of time just by posting content. Like I said, it is a great way to get your name out there and to let people know what you are doing. Now, here are some suggestions when it comes to posting on social media. First of all, come from a place of giving. When I say that, what I mean is, what can you do for the people that are viewing your content? What is it that they are looking for that can help them with something in their life when it comes to health insurance? And we're going to talk about some creative ways, even outside of health insurance, in a little bit. Try not to sell during your interactions when you're posting on your social media platform. Use this opportunity to really educate and inform your client so that you can become that informed advocate or expert that they see as someone that they can read information from, they possibly can contact if they have any additional questions or things like that. Now, one thing I will say that is really important, is very important, is make sure you have clear instructions on how they are to contact you when you have these pages. And you might want to repeat that several times throughout your when you're presenting your content, because if they can't reach you, all of this really gets your brand out there, but it doesn't get you in front of anybody. And our goal, obviously, is to get in front of folks. Don't be afraid, guys, to bring humor and your personality into the content. Now, what's fun about posting on social media is that we get to be our authentic selves. And I absolutely love that. You know, for so many things that we do, we actually have to, we have this salesperson's face. So we really, by showing our personality, people get to know us on a more personal basis. People get to learn to like us. People feel that they know us. And a lot of times when people feel those things, they want to buy from you because they feel that they've gotten to know you. So it's really important to be yourself. Use your personality, use your humor, whatever your special thing is, do it. Mine is, I have no humor, guys, at all. I'm not a funny person. God knows I wish I did, but I don't. But I do genuinely care for people, and I try to make sure that that comes out in everything that I do. So if I was posting, I would want to make sure that part of me was truly shown during my presentations. The next thing is to make sure that you are posting regularly. Now, one thing that is really important with posting on social media, it's not one of those gigs where you can just post 1 or 2 times and then wait and say, okay, I'm going to get this one hit wonder and I'm going to get 1 million people to, find that my content was so relevant and I'm just going to blow up. That's not normal. That happens, but it's not normal. It's like someone who is in high school wanting to play college football or college football wanting to play pro. It's not always a realistic expectation. So once again, I'm trying to help you see that it takes work. And it doesn't happen with the one-hit wonder. So it does take work, and I want you guys to make sure that you are thinking about that as you are choosing what it is you would like to do. Now, this is another tip, and this is probably my most fun tip that I would like to share. If you are not afraid of the camera and you want to take your advertising to the next level, you want to make it fun, you want to make it engaging with your audience, this is a great way to do it. So this is what you do. Okay, a lot of times when we post, we post infographics, or we post us saying something to our clients or our prospects, and we're just giving them information. I have a challenge for you guys. If you're not afraid of the camera, choose something that you like to do. Choose something that you like to do and include that in your content. So your content already is going to include insurance information. So as your tags, you're going to have, when somebody is looking for insurance information, or there's several different ways you can word that, so that when people are searching for stuff, they'll find you when it comes to insurance information. But say if you're someone who likes to cook, or say if you're someone who likes to garden or exercise, you can include that in your content, and that definitely relates back to health, i.e. health insurance. If you are cooking, if you cook every day, turn your camera, get a light, put it on the food that you're cooking. You don't even have to be on the screen. Put it on the food that you're cooking, do a voiceover and tell them what you're cooking and give them the recipe so that they can have it. And boom, you've just created content about healthy eating. So now you're not just the insurance guy or girl, you are the healthy eats insurance guy or girl. So now when people are searching for you, it's not just the things that will pop up. When people are searching for things, they can now search for cooking, they can search for exercise, healthy eats, they can search for mind, body, wellness, self-care, whatever it is that you choose. Now you have just broadened the types of people that can be drawn to your page just by including things that you like to do. Now, this is my most fun thing because this is stuff that we're doing. If you work out every day, just pop that camera on and start working out. And maybe during the whole video, you give tips on how to find quality health insurance or tips on how to stay healthy. And at the end, talk about the importance of good health, seeing a doctor, and let me show you how you can get good health care so you can get to see those doctors. So there's just so much more you can do with that. And then it's important to make sure that you are posting that on all of your platforms as well. Now, going in line with doing the reels, going in line with doing the videos, you can also talk about, and let me go back one because I actually want to talk a little bit on this a little bit more. When you are doing the videos, the nice thing is that you can cut those videos up into reels and post them on different other platforms. So say if you make a longer video about, I don't know, cooking and insurance, I don't know, whatever it is that you choose, you can cut pieces of that out and then include in a fun TikTok video. That's a lot shorter. You can also go ahead and choose put some things on Instagram. So my point is one video can bring you plenty of content that you can use, so you don't feel like you have to do one thing for everything that you're doing. You can use that one video that can be used for multiple things throughout the year, and you can reuse them as well. So that's just another tip that I wanted to give to you. The next one is something that I really enjoy doing, which is joining small business groups. This has been one of my favorite things to do when I was selling. Of course, I was in the BNI, the Chamber of Commerce, all kinds of charity networking events or groups. But I really love joining the small business groups. Reason being is because everyone that was there was small. Most of them were small businesses or people like me who were trying to get in front of small businesses. If you join these groups, a lot of times you will have opportunity, if you ask, to speak in front of the group just to give them a brief idea of what you do. One thing I would suggest before you decide to speak in front of the group, go to the meetings a few times, see what the vibe is like in the meeting before you jump in and say, hey, I want to start speaking at your group, so that when you are presenting, you are presenting relevant content. It's also very important when you are at these small group meetings that you have your elevator pitch, because you only have about 30 seconds or so to be able to let people know in a quick way what you do, how you do it, and who you do it for. And in doing all of that, you got to also show your passion for doing it. So that's something you need to be prepared for before you even go. The other thing you want to look at is making sure when you attend these events that you get there early and you leave late. Now, the reason why I say that is because if you get there early, it gives you an opportunity to mingle. If you leave late, it continues that opportunity to mingle. During the meeting, there is no time to mingle. People are interested in the meeting. But if you get there early and stay late, you get to meet people, you get to pass your cards out, you get to try and schedule appointments if someone actually is needing some help. You slowly get to know all of the folks that are in that small business group. And sometimes you might not get business from them, but as long as you're asking them, well, if there's anybody you know that might need my services, here's my card, please pass it on. Here's two, actually, one for you and one for a friend. That is another thing that you definitely can do in order to, this is one of my favorite things to do when I was selling, because it was very easy. The people were always nice. They wanted to get out of the office and meet other people as well. So it was a very engaging type of meeting. So check that out if you have not been doing that. The other thing is, if you are not attending trade shows and small business events, get online and find out where those are. And if they're open door, you should be attending those with a stack of business cards. Now, obviously, you're not going to be setting up a booth, but you know that most of the people there are they're small business owners. And even if they aren't small business owners, most of them are decision makers who could possibly get you in front of the business owners. So it's a really good idea to attend those, introduce yourself, tell them what you do, and maybe collect some business cards so that you can follow up on to see how you can help them. That's just another way that you can get out there and get to know more people that you can sell to. It's all about working smarter, not harder. So you don't have to always stay on the phones in order to generate sales. And these type of things that I'm talking to you about, they trickle in. I mean, you might plant the seeds today, and 3 months from now, someone is calling you and they say, you know, I met you at the merchant event that was back in March, and I really, really like what you had to say. I have this situation I need to ask you about. And then before long, you actually have a client. It's a beautiful thing, guys. It really is. All right, so next, if you're looking for content that you want to put on your social media pages, writing a blog, is really a nice way to do that. You can make your blog as long and as short as you want to. Now, if you guys are is my age, now I'm not gonna give it, but I'm up there. Not too old, but you know, I'm fine as wine. But in the sense that I've aged well. But when it comes to doing this reminds me back of when we had editorials. And one of the things that I loved is reading editorials back in the day. Blogs have that same effect. So they're very similar to that type of thing. So writing a blog can be very, very helpful as well. And then posting them on all of your social media sites. This really is a great way to get people to see you as an informed advisor. And if you're doing it consistently, you start to become that expert. You start to become that resource. Who is this Lisa McCrary who is constantly giving all of this relevant information? Just make sure you don't get caught up in writing things that everybody else is writing about. You want to be unique in what you are posting. The last thing that I'm going to give to you guys today is something that most people find helpful, especially newer agents. So if you're a newer agent and you're looking for something to do differently, I would say the cell phone challenge. One thing that I did before doing this particular presentation, I looked at my phone to see about how many contacts I have. And currently I have close to 200 contacts in my phone. And I challenge you guys to do the same thing. Look at how many contacts you have in your phone. That consists of friends, family, business acquaintances, just a lot of different people. Now I asked you guys the question, how many of those people actually know what you do for a living? I would probably say not very many. Some might, but not very many. So the phone challenge is all about going out and contacting the folks in your phone book, or not your phone book, but in your cell phone, and letting them know what you do. Now, I am not suggesting that you call these individuals and try and hit them up for a sale. If that is your thing, then there's nothing wrong with that. That was just not my thing to do. I didn't feel comfortable selling to my friends and family, but I did feel very comfortable letting them know what I did. So this is how this would look. People you have not talked to in a very long time, most of the times they want to hear from you. They hadn't heard from you in a long time and they're wondering what you're doing. Give them a call, have a great conversation. I'm sure they're gonna love it. And then at the end of that call, the other reason why I was calling Donna is because I just wanted to let you know that one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm selling insurance. And I wanted you to be aware, because if there's ever anyone that you know that's interested in health insurance, I'm pretty good at what I do. I would love to be able to help those that you care about, or anybody that you know that might need my services. Make sure you save my contact information in your phone as the insurance person, or the insurance guy, or the insurance gal, however you want to do, however you want to say it, insurance consultant. But have them save your information, or ask them to save your information, so that if they come across anybody, they can refer that to you. You would be surprised, over the years, this will come back, because people will remember you, first of all, calling to say hello. That's a very special thing to do. And then lastly, letting them know what you do. And you guys, you won't believe how people appreciate stuff like this. We think that we're imposing when we're really not imposing. We're actually getting back to people that we know and that we hadn't heard from, and we're learning what they're doing. And honestly, there are times when you guys can work together and you're letting them know what you're doing. So it's just a great way to get back with friends, but also help get your name out there with people that you already know. All right, guys. Thank you for sticking it out with me. That is going to do it for me today. As always, if you need any additional help or if you need to reach out to us with questions, you can always reach us at training at training at AHCPsales.com. My brain isn't working today. Sorry, guys. And happy fabulous week. Just enjoy yourselves. And I will look forward to seeing you guys the next time. Have a good day.